Up. I hate how when you hit record, it closes. It like moves up. It's not how it's supposed to be. I had it set perfectly back there, so my head's not cut off. All right. So it's me, Soul of a Nerd, and just came in not too long ago. Movie ended, I guess, about 10 o'clock. Not, Marvel's 10-year anniversary, baby. Dope shirt. Got it off Amazon. Anyway, it's a little late because that was last year. 10 years. Avengers Endgame. These are just going to be my initial thoughts. I still want to see more of my head. So there we go. No spoilers. Just my initial thoughts. I will do a spoiler review, honestly, after I see it again. So let's just start right there. Like Infinity War, this is a movie that I need to see twice. And I'm going to say this. If you go back and see my review, initial thoughts of Infinity War, which I watched before yesterday I watched it, knowing I was just going to see this movie for the first time today. I walked out of Infinity War with mixed feelings, and I was disappointed about some things. But just for the record, I actually saw it again. I saw it like 3 times in the theater. Now I have it on DVD, and it's actually, I ended up giving it a 10 after everything I went through, and it's basically second favorite MCU movie after the Avengers, and they're both in the top 1, 2, 1A and 1B, whatever. So with that being said, let's fast forward here to Endgame. This movie was epic. I mean, definitely epic. It was epic. It was more epic than Infinity War. Well, they're equally epic for different reasons. But again, without giving away spoilers, I'm not even going to give it a ranking right now. But I will say this: it is not everything that I would have wanted it to be. Therefore, I'm not about to come out here acting like this is the best superhero movie ever, not the best MCU movie ever. So anyone who's been on here saying that, that's their opinion. But to me, it was this. When I walked out of Infinity War with mixed feelings and somewhat disappointed, this one even more so. So I'm just gonna say that right now. So, not everybody's got to think this movie is the greatest thing since sliced bread. I'm not one of them. I don't even think seeing it a second time will... I don't know. I'll have to see it a second time. Let me not get ahead of myself. Because again, I was saying the same kind of things about Infinity War. It was emotional. Did not feel like 3 hours. None of us that saw it... I went with 7 people. My lady, my 17-year-old daughter. Hey, there's her hand. It's operating my lighting. My other source of lighting is from my, I like to call it bonus son, who's about to turn 13. Bonus, that's a new phrase. Bonus son. Well, actually, I don't have one in the first place, so yeah. But I'm getting a bonus. I'm getting a bonus. I'm getting a bonus one.
A bonus child.
So my brother, who's a little younger than me, and then my 2 nieces. So it was like, a bunch of teenagers, 4 teenagers, 3 adults. And we had a lot to talk about coming out of it, I'll say that much. There is a lot to talk about coming out of this movie. There's a lot. A movie like this, there was so many emotions and reactions and thoughts about a movie like this. So let me also say on the good side, kudos, my props go out to Joe and Anthony Russo, who are from Cleveland. I always like to mention that. And Kevin Feige for pulling off this movie. It's kind of crazy to even think they could do this. I mean, to just get this far and make this movie. And it was a movie for the fans. And they really made something that just about every MCU fan could find something that they liked and loved and, got what they wanted. I just know there's some things I did not get that I wanted. So and I'll go into detail on that when I do my spoiler review. I'm not even gonna touch on who or what, but I will say there were characters who were disappointing to me, and if you follow the videos I've said before, or you know anything about me, one of them is gonna be kind of obvious. Also, one thing I have definitely learned is that spoilers do mess stuff up, because I got a couple spoilers last week. I got a spoiler like 2 days ago, inadvertently. The one I got just a couple days ago was kind of my own fault, but I still wasn't expecting it in the video that I was watching. In one of them was about, one of them was something I already kind of expected to happen anyway. The one I just got, which is a huge spoiler because of what it actually is that happened, is huge. But I kind of already saw that coming, so it didn't really bother me to know it. But then I'm looking back, like, maybe it would have been more impactful. Actually, I'm not gonna say that because I did tear up when this happened. So it did kind of hit me in the feels. Another one, because again, I probably saw like 5 spoilers over the last 2 weeks, unfortunately. But most of them didn't really matter. One of them that I more recently saw, the scene when it happened, I know for a fact that I probably would have been more impacted if I wouldn't have never seen somebody say that this was going to happen. So. And there was a couple of them. There were 2 or 3 scenes. No, there was 2. 2 scenes that if I wouldn't have known that they were going to happen, they would have. One was on a heartbreak side. The other one was on a geek out, mark out moment. And I think I didn't get to have those because I already saw this stuff coming, because I already knew they were going to happen. And that sucks. But oh well. But in the same hand, I'm not even sure there really was going to be that there was a mark out moment in this movie for me. Unless you're just like a super, super, super geek who is just going crazy over every little thing. And, I'm not really that. It takes quite a bit for me to mark out in a movie. So, I didn't have a mark out moment. I came close a couple times. So with that being said, I gotta quit saying that's not a good thing. Robert Downey Jr. This dude is a beast as an actor. The early parts of what you see from Tony Stark were so like throwing me off. Like, it's like, wow, this dude is a good actor. The movie goes kind of in the direction, some of the things that happened that I thought was going to happen. But they did a good job of it. I mean, it wasn't things that I expected to play out as it happened, if that makes sense. It's like, yeah, they're going to do this, but while they're doing this is going to happen, and it's going to play out in a certain way that I wouldn't have predicted. It was funny. Yeah, I got some major beefs. I got major beefs with this movie. Major beefs. But there was a lot that I loved. A lot that I loved about it. A couple people who I follow on YouTube had said the first hour and first maybe even 2 hours were kind of slow or uneven or mediocre. I didn't follow it. I was loving the movie. I was into the movie from the time it started. So it was a good slow build. It was really about emotion. It's like some of the directions, again, that they took some of the characters, I wasn't feeling at all. But I'm not going to keep going in that direction. What I really want to focus on is that the movie paid a great homage to the original 6 Avengers and all the movies that have led up to this movie. It basically focused on the original Avengers. It's like this was their movie. The newer people that have come into the MCU since 2016, I'll say, they weren't major in this movie, and that's fine. But they used all those characters very well. It's like there is a happy ending, but then there's a bittersweet ending. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, in the end, I'm looking forward to what they do next with the MCU. But this movie will raise a lot of questions about, okay, now where do we go? So it did a good job of that. Props to Kevin Feige and them for keeping us on our toes. So now we want to know what's going to happen next. But that's pretty much what I'm going to say. I am going to go see it again. I did like it a lot, but as you can just see by my demeanor, I'm not super duper overwhelmed, enthused by it. But it is a very good, very good. It's a very good movie that should be seen, and it's probably going to be appreciated down the line more because of what they did to build up to it through 22 movies. And there's another thing. I mean, they did so many little Easter egg shout outs to previous movies that was genius. So the movie is brilliant in that regard. It's just, really, I just have my own personal nitpicks with the movie, if that makes sense. So what they did from a general objective opinion was phenomenal. So I can't wait to see it again and see what, maybe something I can appreciate more, and new things that I can see the second time around. But again, you got to give props where props to do when you can make a movie that covers this many characters and covers this many movies. How about that? That many. It's like I said, a lot of characters, but also a lot of movies. Think about that. That's not an easy task. Right now, Infinity War, I would definitely say was better, and I would think most. I don't see how anyone would feel Endgame is better than Infinity War. Oh, and let me just say this: Thanos. They said Thanos will return, and he's still one of the best villains I've seen in movies ever. Like, he's dope. So, some good battles. And for you clownish people who are worried about Captain Marvel, thinking that, they're just trying to push the SJWs and push women and make her be all that, and she's going to be the big hero, and she's going to save everybody, and, they just want to... No, it wasn't even like that. Captain Marvel was cool. She was in it. And they used her perfectly, in my opinion.
I'm kidding.
Used her perfectly. It's really similar to what happened last year. I mean, Black Panther came out before Infinity War, and let's be real, there were black people who were like, I can't wait to see Infinity War because Black Panther's going to be different. And I knew better. I mean, he's not about to run the show in no Infinity War movie, and they used him barely. I mean, but he had his moments. They did the same thing with Captain Marvel. Marvel Studios knows what they're doing when it comes to these characters, introducing characters. But yeah, so go see it. Open mind. I was partially like had too high of expectations, but I started to bring myself down because I saw some reviews or early thoughts from friends of mine on Facebook as well as other YouTubers that I follow. So I started to get an idea, and that kind of brought myself down. Like, don't go in here all amped up thinking this movie's going to be the best movie of all time. I mean, because it doesn't have to be. You can't just... It's not like every time they put out a movie, it has to be better than the other one. It doesn't. The Endgame did not have to be the best MCU movie of all time just because it's a culmination of 22 movies. And it's not. So it's all good for me. It's still I'm going to actually say great movie. It's a great movie. For any fan of the MCU, you should be pretty cool with it overall. I am. And I'm not one of these people like after Endgame, I'm gonna quit with the MCU. Like I said, some cornballs feel that way because they're worried about seeing black people and women being featured in movies. That's my opinion. So I'm not worried about that, obviously. So I trust them to continue giving us some good stuff, and I'm gonna go back and see this movie, and I'll be back with a longer spoiler-filled review. That's all I got. Peace.